Anthony Slater here with Darnell Mayberry at the Thunder Integris Health Center. The Thunder just got done with exit interviews. Sam Presti just finished. And I guess the news from Presti, the news of this exit interview, Scott Brooks will be back coaching the Thunder next season.
Yeah, I think that's what we all expected. You know, Scott Brooks did a tremendous job throughout the regular season, managing injuries. Russell Westbrook misses 36 games. Thabo Sefolosha, Kendrick Perkins get hurt. Serge Ibaka gets hurt and right before the start of the Western Conference Finals. So to manage all of that and still get this team to win 59 games and get to the Western Conference Finals, I think we all figured he'd be back.
And now we look to the offseason. You know, you got the draft coming up soon. Free agency starts in July. Where's Reggie Jackson's contract situation going? But I think right now the key thing to look at, Thabo Sefolosha, will he be back? He sounded like a guy in his exit interview that wasn't really expecting to be back. And then you also look at Caron Butler, Derek Fisher. What did you kind of gather from these few days of exit interviews, what Presti said, what the players said on those three?
Yeah, my guess is Thabo Sefolosha will be gone. Derek Fisher is probably going to coach the Knicks. And Caron Butler is probably going to be gone. You know, they got decisions to make on Hasheem Thabeet. He's owed about $1.2 million. Will they bring him back? Will they bring Grant Jarrett back? So they got some spots to fill on this roster. But the main three guys, I think, they're going to be looking for a starting two guard next season. Whether that's Reggie Jackson or not remains to be seen. But I think they're going to enter into contract negotiations with Reggie Jackson this summer. As Presti said today, if it doesn't get done by the October 31st deadline, they'll go into next summer. He'll be a restricted free agent. Then they can match whatever offer he might get for another team.
This offseason, you'd expect the amnesty Kendrick Perkins movement to maybe ramp up again, but it sounded like Presti shot that down today. Seemed to say that, you know, Perkins will be back. He's maybe the reason they didn't lose to Memphis in that first round. You think that's the right move to bring Kendrick Perkins back, even though the development we saw out of Steven Adams? Yeah,
I think so. It just doesn't make much sense to pay a guy to go away, especially when he can still help you, whether it's on the court or in the locker room, even on the practice floor, mentoring Steven Adams. We've seen how good he's going to be as he continues to progress in his career. So I think bringing Kendrick Perkins back is the right move. It just doesn't make sense to pay a guy $9 million to not play for you.
Helps the media a little bit, too. He was pretty good in his exit interview the other day. I used him through my whole story today. The draft coming up, 26, 2 first-round picks. Sam Presti said it would be considered. They could maybe move one, maybe move both those picks. What do you kind of expect, draft, free agency? I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here, but there's a lot of moves to be made.
Yeah, starting with the draft, June 26th, I don't think they're going to use both of those picks. I think they're going to try to trade up. There's a lot of teams, or the reports of a lot of teams wanting to trade their first-round picks. I think Sam Presti will be opportunistic in trying to get higher in the draft to get a more impact player. If he doesn't, I think he can try to trade out, try to get a veteran, someone who can come in here and help this team immediately try to win a championship next year. And then in free agency, I don't think they're going to be big players. They've never really been big players in free agency. They don't like to get into bidding wars in the summer, so I look for them to make trades more than try to outright sign free agents.
Aaron Aflalo, the name to watch, right?
I love him. You got to get him.
We'll see. That'll do it for us here for the season Thunder Report. Really, I'm I'm Anthony Slater. He's Darnell Mayberry. We'll talk to you again next season.